Hello, my name is Nico Ray, and my article is on protein, which is best. Some background information regarding this article. Protein intake that exceeds the recommended daily allowance is accepted for athletes. This is because they need to maintain or in some cases increase their muscle mass for their activities. There are also different types of proteins available, but the knowledge on them are limited. So in this article, it goes in depth in the different types and the different pros and cons they have. Also, it identifies and analyzes the key factors in different proteins and what recommendations they make, and especially for athletes. Introduction. Studies have been done on athletes that take an excess of protein. It actually has been proven to benefit these athletes because athletes need to maintain muscle mass or in some cases increase their muscle mass to ensure adequate performance. This goes for both power and endurance athletes if they want to perform at their highest levels. But the one side that has not been studied is the different options of protein. There are so many options, but there hasn't been in-depth studies. So in this article, the purpose is to examine key factors responsible for making appropriate choices on the type of proteins to consume in both athletic and general populations. Methodology. In this article, different sources and studies are brought together to make a collaborative assessment. One of the things studied are the different sources of protein, what they're made from, where they come from, and the pros and cons. Also, a comparison of different studies, for example, the effects on the human body and human performance. Also, the different health issues from an excess intake of these proteins. This would be important for our athletes who are trying to maintain or increase their muscle mass. Also, protein on human performance in both athletic and general populations. Data and results. Some of the accepted protein options are whey protein, animal protein, soy protein, bovine colostrum, casein, and vegetable protein. Also in this study, it goes into depth the nutritional benefits of each of the proteins. For example, casein has been proved to be effective for athletes. For example, milk proteins are significant importance to the body for functions relating to the uptake of nutrients and vitamins and the source of biological active peptides. Also, another example is vegetable proteins, which combined are proven to be an acceptable source of protein considering they will likely result in the reduction of intake of saturated fat and cholesterol, leading to a healthier option of protein compared to the fattier options like animal protein. Along with the benefits, there are some cons. These cons are increase in health risks, for example, metabolic disease, cardiovascular disease, renal disease, bone disease, and liver disease. Also in this article, studies regarding comparisons between different protein sources on human performances were looked at. A study that stuck out to me was the comparison of colostrum protein versus whey protein in both non-elite athletes and hockey players. Ultimately, the results showed a significantly greater improvement was seen in repeated performance in the group supplementing with colostrum compared to the group supplementing with whey protein. Some of the main takeaways from this article are that animal proteins seem to be very important for development of humans from infancy to mature adulthood. However, there are major health concerns regarding a diet of consuming primarily of animal sources. With the proper combination in certain foods, vegetable proteins may provide a similar benefit as animal protein. In regard to athletes, the protein that proved to have the most benefit was casein. However, whey protein has a greater initial benefit for protein synthesis. There are some real-world applications regarding this article. For example, from infancy to adulthood, the most important protein to have an intake of is animal protein, which was proven in the study. Ultimately, there are different options that are viable for different populations of protein. All the proteins shown in the study are accepted for a reason. For example, some proteins are better for development, for example, animal protein. Also, with athletes who are looking to maintain or increase their muscle mass and endurance, casein and whey protein have been proven to be the top two options. Some special cases, for example, if a client is vegetarian, we can recommend a combination of vegetable proteins that can replace the usual animal proteins that would be in our bodies. Thank you for your time, and this was my presentation.